Hey guys, Liana here, playing Guacamelee. In part because I love this game. I love Guacamelee a lot. It's one of my favorite indie games ever. And not just because it's made in my hometown. No, it's objectively awesome. But also because there's no voice tracks. There's no voiceovers to conflict with mine. So I don't have to worry about stopping and talking like yesterday's video that hasn't been put up yet as of this freaking recording because YouTube has just been hating on me lately. So I apologize for the delivery problems. They're completely beyond my control. And just as an aside before I get started on the topic today, to all developers out there, please do not put a block or evade button on the left trigger. It is extremely painful for those of us with physical conditions that affect our hands to press the D-pad and the left trigger simultaneously for the purposes of evading. This game is killing me right now. I haven't played this game since I developed repetitive stress injuries in my hands. And the reason I'm dying so freaking much is I'm having a real struggle evading. Oh, I can use this stick. Okay, I'm gonna do that instead. That's much better. Because, that left trigger was killing me. Okay, let's see if that actually, yes, I am evading much better, like a boss now. All right, because this game you have to use, I find it easier to use the D-pad because the stick is not precise enough for the complex moves that you have to do. But seriousness, do yourself a favor and play this game. Okay, I did better though. But the topic today, and it's appropriate that I'm dying a lot because the last few days have been a bloodbath, and I was really dismayed to see the reactions regarding the whole Jim Sterling died a review copy of Final Fantasy Anal Butt Sex or whatever it's freaking called. I cannot keep all the Final Fantasy games straight. I stopped playing Final Fantasy games. Well, the last one I tried to play was Final Fantasy 9. And Final Fantasy 12. The last game I did anything meaningful with was Final Fantasy 9 with Lulu and the stuffed Moogles and all that stuff. That was 12 was the one that broke the spell for me. I don't like the tactic system at all. And I don't like the licenses at all. And so 10 lost me, tried 12, just not happening. But anyway, he got denied a review copy of Final Fantasy something or other, negative or whatever. But the internet went crazy with people either objecting to or applauding the decision to deny him the review copy based on this idea that he's anti-consumer. Now, I don't quite know where people get the idea that Jim Sterling is anti-consumer. Perhaps there's stuff I'm missing. But people are, of course, entitled to that opinion. But then Total Biscuit weighed in and was like, no, you are wrong. And everybody went absolutely bonkers, going crazy, either completely changing their opinion or telling him off. And so this is obviously isn't that a beautiful boss design? I just love that. And he's an add-on for the Super Turbo Championship Edition, which is why I love that little cameo, because it's a complete nod to the fact that, no, he wasn't in the original game. But I digress. I think just because of the fact that so many people got so emotional over this, and it was an emotional response, it didn't have anything to do with logic, oh god no. People are freaking out over whether or not someone got a review copy or not for perspective. And it has made me feel like a cool kid again, because if I had a nickel for every time I was turned down for a review copy of a game, I wouldn't have to review games anymore for money. I'd be freaking rich. So, you know, the reality is, like it or not, publishers have the right to deny you access to any product they choose. That is just fact. There is no getting around it. It is their product. Now, I don't think that's what Total Biscuit was getting at, because he's a smart dude, he knows that, right? What he's saying is that you can't deny someone access to content just because you don't like them. And I absolutely agree with him that that is true. I'm not sure if that's why Jim Sterling was in fact denied. That's a big complaint I have with the whole process. You're never told no, actually, for a reason. You're told they run out of review copies, which kind of sounds weak because, you know, people go, well, it's just a download thing, they can't run out. They can run out, they only get so many codes issued by the various publishers at the same time, but, you know, I've had a couple instances with Ubisoft where they actually did run out of codes and they gave me from the next wave. Now that means I didn't get as much time with the game as other people, but I was still able to get my review out, you know, the day after launch or, you know, 2 days after launch or something like that. They still came through with the review copy. So that sometimes does legitimately happen. I just want everybody to be clear about that from the start. But, you know, I think the thing Total Biscuit was referring to was the fact that people were cheering it on ideological grounds. And I see his issue there. Because yes, we don't have... We shouldn't be saying people should only work with people they like, because that is an echo chamber, that is a hug box, and that is very dangerous in terms of, you know, personal integrity and getting the best art possible, being challenged by our art form in all its many forms. And I'm really amazed at how many people took issue with what he was saying. Now, okay, you know, there were tone elements to it that are undeniable, but it's the internet. If you don't like somebody's tone, you're not going to last very long on the internet. Nobody's tone is especially well, there are a few people. You know, Boogie's way nicer a human being than I can ever hope to be. But, you know, I was almost there, I got cute. But, you know, I don't think you should dismiss someone's logic just because you don't like their tone. Period, you know. It's really funny to me how many of these, you know, liberal academic terms are getting thrown around by so-called hardcores on the internet these days. It's just, it's like those parody things with, you know, bikers saying that was very hurtful. That's sort of like I'm feeling the entire underpinnings of gamer culture and gamer identity are kind of imploding right now, and I think that's because our belief of what a gamer is far too rigid. And sorry about all the deaths, guys, I'm playing on hard. And this is a tricky thing, because on the one hand we have, you know, publishers' right to market their product in the way they choose, and that is their right. You know, corporate freedoms are important. But then we do have press access and, you know, freedom of the press and issues like that, because there is this concern about, you know, the lack of diverse opinion in video games. And both of these are very valid issues, and that's what makes this, I think, such a touchy point, because people are trying to phrase it in terms of right and wrong, and this is a very difficult issue to get binary on. And by binary, I mean, you know, it is 1, it is 0, there is absolutely no gray area, good, bad, black, white, and so on. So, you know, this is a tricky one, because you've got two competing very important rights at odds. So what do we do? This is also a test of, you know, Jim Sterling's role as an elder statesman in video games, which is crazy because he's been around less than I have, but he's had a lot of success. So, yay, I passed it. So, you know, this is also a very interesting test of how much being an elder statement in gaming means. And obviously before this, you know, we had Adam Sessler parting ways with G4, and, you know, obviously he doesn't have the pull he once did. And we all know how happy he is about that. But this issue of what access rights the Games Press actually has comes up every time there's a desirable product launch, whether it be software or hardware. Remember the debacle over copies or consoles? People got very, very upset over people's, you know, certain members of the press, that was stupid, certain members of the press belief that, you know, they had the right to a free Xbox One or a free PlayStation 4 or something like that because they needed it to do their jobs. That's a tricky one because, yeah, I did miss out on some stuff and still miss out on some stuff because I don't have the hardware to play it. I'd love to play that 3DS game, that Abraham Lincoln Steam game. I'd love to play that. I don't have a 3DS. And a 3DS is not worth the money. So, for me to buy. So every so often I do lose the ability to weigh in on things just because I don't have the hardware. I don't play portable games enough to justify that expense personally. That would be a professional expense. But in a year that I had to buy 3 consoles, you know, since E3, well, I think I bought my PlayStation 4 slightly before E3 last year, but I'm timing this terribly. But I bought, you know, an Xbox One and a Wii U over holiday period this year. What the hell? Oh, I see. Oh, this sucks. This is hard. But, so, I mean, a lot of money out of pocket when you factor in, you know, the extra controller on the Xbox and all that stuff. I just, you can't afford it all. Games reviewers get paid like crap. So, this is, and once again, here we are in a situation with no standards, right? We have no industry standards of what's appropriate. Everybody likes to control maximum freedom, so they never post anything, you know, accreditation for a show. It would be great if they just posted in advance, we recommend you have this many views, you know, this much traffic per month before you apply. These are our standards. Why do I keep jumping? I keep panning. Hey, there we go. But that would be great. They don't. It's they reserve discretion. And yes, you know, if they have a slow year, they want it to be full. But still give us a guideline. So if someone comes in just under the guideline exists. Sure, you can bend the rules. Bending the rules on a case-by-case basis, if it makes sense to the you know, the outlet in question or the event in question, that's fine. But that's not the same thing as having no rules at all. You know, and that's the thing we're struggling with over and over and over in gaming, is we just don't have the policies for anything. And I know it drives me crazy, because I'm a rule person. I'm a lawful good person all the way, straight up. I like rules. Give me a rule. I'll enforce the rule. I'll follow the rule. You know, sometimes the rules suck and you fight them and you get them changed, but rules are good. Rules make things fair, you know? And I don't believe it. Oh, I have to do this again. No. Oh, but you know, that doesn't mean that rules should override logic. No. That means that people should use rules to inform their decisions. And when you have absolutely nothing informing your decisions. That makes good decision making very hard, and that is a huge challenge we're having in the gaming industry, just because we have had absolutely monumental growth. And so I'm gonna do what, you know, collectively we as an industry probably should have asked the fans for a long time ago, is patience while we work this out. And instead of screaming at us, talk to us about where you feel guidelines are lacking, you know, and where things can be improved in that way. Because people are giving the games press credit for way more power than we have, and way more collective organization than we actually have. It's actually very tough, because, you know, we're running around with chickens with our heads cut off going, what the hell are we doing on any given day? Well, you know, people are saying collusion. We don't even have organization, never mind collusion most of the time. And, you know, there are pockets, I have no idea what happens among the, you know, elites of gaming, because they all hate me. You know, they're hoping I fail and starve and you know, get various websites shut down just because I exist on it. The core games press has not been kind to me as a rule. There have been a few exceptions, like, you know, Eric Kane at Forbes, you know, Ben Kuchera was cool with me before, you know, stuff happened. But, and I won't say we were friends. No, we were not friends, but contrary to what people were saying. But he gave me a shot, he published my piece. I have to be, you know, I have to give credit where credit's due there. But, you know, that's dead now, just because I decided to have my own opinion. That's never coming back anytime soon. So, you know, we need guidance. Those of us who are not in, you know, the pretty Elysium city, those of us who are down on earth with y'all guys, with, yeah, I'm quoting that movie with Matt Damon. I think it's called Elysium. But, you know, we need guidance. We need to know how to be consumer advocates. We need to know what to advocate for. And you can help us with that, right? You can help us with that a lot, because we don't have access to mailing lists anymore. We can't communicate for the purposes of common standards. There's no way right now that the fans will accept for that dialogue process to happen, right? So what do? How do we get these things? How do we make it better if we can't even communicate without getting accused of collusion? And I'm not talking shit here. I'm actually asking, like, how do we solve this problem? So that's where we're at. Now, obviously, I'm not looking for answers today, right? But these are just the thoughts that this whole Jim Sterling thing brought up in my tiny little brain. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you feel inclined. And thanks, guys. Keep gaming. Keep loving games. And I died again. It's a metaphor. Bye.